Alrighty, hey everyone, welcome back. So another fun day today in Bitcoin land. Bitcoin's up another nice, what was it, 4% or something like that, up to 16,000 something. So that was great to see. Miners were a little lackluster today. They were up a little bit, not as much as Bitcoin, but obviously Bitcoin pumped after the close of the markets and CME futures. But a lot of people got liquidated today from being short on Bitcoin. Not a smart move to do that. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the miners, what they did today. We'll also take a look at the miners, how they performed last month. We'll give them a grade. We'll see which ones were the best ones for June. We'll also talk about some good bullish news stories on Bitcoin as well. So we have that happening for us, and we'll see where the miners are right now in pre-hours here. And yeah, we'll get into Q&A. So it should be kind of fun. I hope you guys are enjoying this. All right, but as always, not that one. I wanted this one. Not financial advice for him only. Do your own research. Full disclosure below that. Hit the like button, subscribe. Helps me out tremendously. And let's take a look at what's going on here with Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin is down on the new day. It's down just a little bit here right now, but man, do we have a nice candle here today. So Bitcoin was up 4.27% on the day. It got to a high of 116,842 exactly. We closed at $116,031.30, which was still really nice. We were up basically $4,748 on the day. I love these kind of days. I hope you guys do too as well. All right, we've been trading sideways for a long time here. We've finally been going up here a little bit, and we're finally starting to break out past our previous all-time highs and everything else. That's looking like a nice little rally starting here for us. And could we get to 150,000 next week? I mean, geez, if Bitcoin goes up, $5,000 per day here, that's doable. It'd be definitely close, but I think we're gonna have a little bit of a pullback. Maybe not tomorrow, but maybe next week we'll have a little pullback on it. Correct down a little bit, and then we'll go back up here. So that's kind of where I'm thinking we'll get to. But I think 150,000 is eventually going to happen. It's not a matter of if, but when it's going to happen here on that one. All right, so Bitcoin did pretty good today. Miners, for the most part, did pretty good. They were up a couple percentage points for the most part. Let's see here. Ethereum was up nicely today as well. It was up 6.55%. It was up, let's see, it was up $181. So it closed at 2,951. Markets were up as well today. So Bitfarms was up 3.8% on the day. Nice, still kind of trading sideways here a little bit, so at least above $1, which is good. BitDeer was up 1.54%. Kang was up just a little bit, 0.94%. Cypher was actually down today, 0.32%. And actually, a little update. My dad sold some of his CORZ shares, and he started buying into Cypher and IREN as well today. So he's going to be dollar cost averaging into those guys here over the next couple days, maybe a week or so. On those, maybe we'll get a little pullback. He can buy them a little bit cheaper here. We'll see. Cleanspark was up 3.45%. It's battling with the $13 range right now. That's acting as resistance for it. And if we can break above that, we're definitely going to go up higher from there. CORZ was down again today, 1.86%. Hive was up 4.98%, so that one's kind of bouncing back up. Hut 8 was up 3.76%. That one's kind of bouncing back up as well. IREN was up a little bit, 0.41%. Moar was up 2.93%. They got to a high of 19.19. Riot was up 2.86%. That got to a high of 12.77. And Wolf was up 4.06%, starting to bounce back up a little bit as well. MicroStrategy was up a little bit. Galaxy was up just a little bit as well. Semler was up nicely today, 8.62%. Who else do we have here? Coin was up 4% on that one. Small miners up 4% for any. Argo was up 4%. DigiPower was up just a little bit, 0.38. DMG was up 3.59, but Mawson, for some reason, was up almost 20% here with no news or anything like that. Not sure what's going on there. Maybe some manipulation happening there. And then the ETFs for the miners were up for the most part, just a little bit here. And I got a sneeze coming up. Oh, jeez. Oh, well, I was hoping to mute that one, but I didn't mute the right one. Sorry, guys. Allergies are kicking in again on me. What else do we have here? The Ethereum holdings companies. Most of them were down. BTCS was up just a little bit, 2.88%. Oh, jeez. Yeah, another sneeze there. Sorry about that. And then SBET was up 8.32% here on that one. And that's all we got for right now. As far as how the miners are doing right now in the after hours, well, BitDeer's up 1.75%. Bitfarms is up 4.67%, so that's looking pretty good there. Kango is actually down 0.35%. Cypher is up 4.17%. We had Cleanspark being up another 2.4% on the day, on the after hours. CORZ is down again a little bit more, 0.76%. Hive is down just a little bit here, 0.03%. Hut 8 is up 2.4%. IREN is up 1.17%. Moar is up 2.53%. Riot is up almost 2% there. And TeraWolf is actually flat on the day. And then when we look at, is it this one that I wanted to look at? Not this one. Which one is it? It's this one over here, hash rate. Okay. So Bitcoin hash price index, right? It's come back up here for the miners. It's back up to approximately 62, almost $63 per petahash. That obviously means really good things for the miners. They're going to be making more money per hash rate that they have. So that's awesome to see. We want to see that continuing to go up and get above $100 here potentially in the next 6 months, which would be really, really good for them on that one. All right, there's that. Bitcoin for right now for the month of July is up 7.78%. So this is starting to look a little bit better here, more in line with what we've seen here in prior bull runs, or bull run years at least, right? 2021, 2017, 2013. So we definitely want to see that happening here. We want to go up a little bit more as well as time progresses this month. And I think we will. It's just a matter of how far we go this month. Bitcoin ETF inflows continue to be positive. Excuse me. We are up, let's see here. Yesterday we were up 75 million, right? Actually, no, 90 million yesterday on that one. And today, let me see if I can refresh this to get the latest one. Actually, we were up 215 million yesterday. Today, we were up 727 million, plus I'm guessing BlackRock bought a bit. So they're going to be probably well over $1 billion in inflows today, which is going to be really, really nice. And hopefully we get a lot of people getting shorted like, or short squeezed tomorrow like crazy on that. All right, so here's what we got as far as bullish news stories for Bitcoin here. SoFi CEO says they'll be using Bitcoin for global remittance. Can't say the word, remittance. So that's awesome, right? We also have KULR, Curl, has acquired 90 Bitcoin for 10 million at 108,000 and has achieved BTC yield of 291% year to date as of 7/9. They hodled 1,020 Bitcoin acquired for 101 million at 98,000 per Bitcoin there. So doing really good there. So right, companies are still continuing to buy Bitcoin, which is good. We also have French public companies, Sequans, just bought 41 million worth of Bitcoin. Bitcoin 100 ranking is they're number 46 there, so they're buying more as well. And then we have just in 3 billion YouTube rival Rumble partners with MoonPay to let 58 million users buy and sell Bitcoin. BTC is going mainstream. It is going mainstream. We talked about United Emirates, the airline there. It's going to be allowing people to buy tickets with Bitcoin and crypto. We're at the very, very start of a nice tsunami that's going to be happening here with adoption in Bitcoin. Next, we have publicly traded KWave Media secures 1 billion capital capacity to buy Bitcoin. Nothing stops this train. Yeah, it's just going to continue to go up to the upside. So I love seeing that. And then finally, actually, we want to talk about Moar appointing Mr. Nur, Rick something. I can't pronounce it. I haven't even looked into it. I just pulled it up, but I haven't even read into it. But let's take a look at it. Why not? Moar appoints Nur Rovich as Chief Product Officer. So Mr. Rovich joins Moar to build the company's product discipline from the ground up, bridging engineering strategy and commercialization. In his role, he will focus on defining the roadmap for Moar's products and engineering to deliver production-grade systems. What kind of systems will they be doing? He's got an exceptional background in product leadership and autonomous technology development, where orchestration, efficiency, and reliability are paramount. Makes him the ideal choice to drive Moar's product vision forward, said Fred Thiel there. His proven ability to scale real-world technologies will be instrumental as we bring to market transformative solutions at the intersection of energy, AI, and compute. Okay, let's see. Rovich brings deep expertise in product management, machine learning, and engineering leadership, with a proven track record in developing intelligent infrastructure across robotics, industrial automation, and autonomous systems. Most recently, Rovich served as Director of Product Management at Blue River, a John Deere company, where he co-founded the autonomy unit and led the product strategy for autonomous construction machinery and advanced driver assistance systems, unlocking more than 500 million in revenue across it. Wow, okay, so he's got some chops there. But as we all know that John Deere has been in the news at least in the past about right to repair. Right, they've had some flack for that. Hopefully, it doesn't bring that over into the company there as well. Let's see here. What else do we have here? I think that's about it. Yeah, so we'll see what he does for him. It doesn't really say what they're going to do, but they're just going to bring in some more systems in play. Okay, so that's it. That's all I got for you guys as far as bullish news. Obviously, Bitcoin and everything else that's going on here. We'll take a look at how the miners did for June next, and which ones placed at the top as far as 6 and 8 metrics that I always look at. So we'll go through that, and then we'll get into Q&A. And then tomorrow we'll look at actually the impact on the HODL some of these guys are going to have for their EPS numbers. We'll look at that tomorrow. I have that data pulled in as well. So if you're a Patreon member, you'll actually get that data probably tomorrow before I do the show even, because it's already in here. It's in the sheet. So we'll look at that tomorrow as well. But on this one, we always look at how the monthly operations were for the miners, right? We score them on month-over-month hash rate growth, BTC percentage sold, BTC per exahash efficiency, BTC mined, days mined, current hash rate, and HODL. That's the total 8. And then we also look at the 6 without current hash rate and HODL on those things. So looking at month-over-month percentage hash rate growth, obviously higher is better here. Cypher came in really good here with 27% increase, followed by IREN at almost 22% there, BitDeer at 21%, then you got Cleanspark at 9.6 and Hive at 9.5. So those are like the top performers for hash rate growth month over month. Current hash rate, obviously Moar is still the top dog here at 58 exahash. IREN's at 50 exahash, Cleanspark at 50 exahash, Riot's at 35, Kango's at 32, CORZ at 18, I'm guessing. I don't know. They could be at like 16 or 15 actually, or even less than that. Cypher is at 16.8, BitDeer at 16.5, and we got Hive at 11.4 there. So the top were obviously Moar, IREN, Cleanspark, Riot, and Kango there. Kango should be at 50 exahash this month of July here, so we'll probably see like these three guys being equal there. As far as BTC per exahash efficiency here, we can see Hive came in number 1, so that's like uptime, right? How efficient are they operating their fleet there? They came in really good here at 14.38, followed by Kango at 14.18, Cleanspark at 13.7, Riot at 12.6, IREN at 12.4. Those are the top 5 miners there as far as operations are concerned. And you can see the rest of them down below. And then month over month BTC mined percentage here. Hive actually increased their BTC mined month over month, almost 18% there, which was nice. BitDeer up 3.57%. And then we hit IREN down 1.12%, Cleanspark down 1.3%, and Kango being down 7.12%. So those are the kind of top 5 there. Moar was down a lot, 25% difference month over month. They definitely curtailed a lot. Plus they had some storm damage there, looks like, at one of their facilities. That didn't help them out. And then BTC mined here, Moar again being the top one here, coming in at 713 Bitcoin. Cleanspark at 685, not too far behind. IREN at 620, then Kango and Riot both being at 450 there. Those are the top 5 miners. BitDeer at 203, Core at 186, Hive 164, and Cypher 160. And then days mined here out of the month. Hive came in at 28.61, IREN at 28.26, Cleanspark at 28.13, Kango at 27.47 days, and we got BitDeer at 24.64. Those are the top 5 for days being mined. When it comes to HODL, Moar is definitely the king there. They pretty much have probably 50,000 right now as it is. Riot at 19,273, Cleanspark at 12,608, then you got Kango at 3,179, and BitDeer at 1,502. Those are the top 5 for HODL. And percentage of BTC sold, Moar didn't actually sell. They actually bought some Bitcoin here on that one, so that's why that's showing off a little bit there. Kango didn't sell anything. BitDeer sold 25.6% of what they mined. Cypher 39.4%. Cleanspark 84.5%. Riot 89.3%. IREN and Hive. Hive didn't report, so I'm guessing they sold everything there, but they could have possibly not sold something. So if the Hive team is listening, please report the HODL position that you guys have at the end of each month. I think that'll be worthwhile. And then here's the total scores that we do have here on these guys. So total metrics for the scores, lower is better as always. Scores based on the 8 metrics. Cleanspark came in number 1 with 26 points. Kango with 32, and again, Kango is a new miner, so I don't have a lot of data on them right now as it is. And you also remember that they are asset light. They don't own any infrastructure. They host everything that they have right now as it is. All right, so keep that in mind. IREN at 33, Moar at 34 points, BitDeer at 36. So those are the top 5 there, and you can see how everybody else has performed there. Scores based on 6 metrics without HODL or current hash rate. We got Cleanspark at 21, IREN at 22, Hive at 22, Kango and BitDeer at 24, and then we got Moar at 32, Riot at 33, Cypher at 37 right now as it is, in Core at 45. So the top 5 were Cleanspark, IREN, Hive, Kango, and BitDeer on that one. And then minor individual reports here, see how they stacked up. You can see Cleanspark overall below, like I think average line is right around 6 and 7 points, something like that. They're well below on all those things, so that's looking good for them. Good operations, good uptime. Kango also below that for the most part, except for month-over-month hash rate growth. They've been kind of flat since they started mining back in November. IREN also really good here, except for obviously they don't hodl anything, and BTC sold, right? That's kind of what nicked them a little bit there. On it, Moar, good on a lot of things, but bad on a couple other things as well. That didn't help them out either on that one. BitDeer, kind of all over the place on the way that they got graded on things. Riot, same thing, kind of all over the place. Hive, good on quite a few things, but also not that great on other things here. So that's kind of how the scoring goes. Cypher, good on month-over-month hash rate growth, but other things need to get improved on. And we got Core here. Core is going to be, we're going to probably get rid of Core here probably next month as it is anyways. And then when we look at the total metrics over the 12 months averages, bear in mind that I only have data for Kango for the 1 month, so the averages are kind of tough for them. So take that with a grain of salt there on them. But here's how that has performed. Cleanspark still number 1 with 24 points overall on average over the last 12 months, followed by Moar at 28. Then you got Riot with 36 and IREN at 41. Obviously, you got Kango at 32, but Kango is only 1 month of metrics there, so it's kind of hard to really judge them on that. And you got a Hive at 46 points on average, BitDeer 51, Core 53, and Cypher 53 as well. And then we look at the 6 metrics here, not including hodl hash rate over the last 12 months on average. Cleanspark comes in with an 18 point score. Kango 24 again, right? Only 1 month of data for them. Moar at 26, IREN at 28, Hive at 31 along with Riot, BitDeer, and then Cypher and Core at top of that. And here's all the raw data on it as it is. So top miners were, for the month, here Cleanspark, I would say Cleanspark, IREN, Moar, and Hive, depending on what you look at as far as if you include hodl and things like that, right? So miners are doing really good, and they're pumping here recently. And also what we saw here last week, right? We're seeing the miners kind of being lackluster here the last couple of days. And the reason I think that is the case is because if you look at last week's performance on these guys compared to Bitcoin, they look like they front ran Bitcoin this week. So they were doing it last week while Bitcoin was kind of, well, flat, lackluster. Right? Bitcoin last week was only up 1%, while the miners were up, like IREN 61%, Cypher 60%, Core was up 52%, Cleanspark up 36%, Hive was up 36%. And this week we're seeing kind of the opposite, where Bitcoin's kind of doing pretty good here, but the miners are still, they're still slightly outperforming it, but not as great as we've seen here, at least last week, compared to what Bitcoin did there. So that's kind of what we're dealing with right now. Sometimes the miners do front run Bitcoin. We've seen that in the past as well, where towards the peaks of Bitcoin, we see the miners being ahead probably by about a week or 2 weeks sometimes when they reach their peaks before Bitcoin does. All right, so I'm not saying this is the peak or anything like that. I'm just saying that sometimes the miners do front run Bitcoin for an extended period of time until things kind of even out eventually. All right, but that is it. Hopefully tomorrow we have a great day. We'll see. But as always, spreadsheets available to my Patreon members. Link for that is down in the description. If you want to join, it's a couple bucks a month, and you also get access to our private Discord server. So that is it. Let's get into Q&A here, and before my allergies take over completely here. Let me see. Well, here we go. I want to go here. As always, questions. If you can preface those with a question mark or a Q. And I see that we're going to have an error there. I think I have an issue with, yeah, we had the power go out. Doggone it. Let's see if this fixes it. No. Not that one. That one's, it is up. Okay. Might not be operating. All right. We'll work without the chart on Bitcoin there. We can deal with that. Okay. Let's see here what we got. I'm going to scroll up on the questions or comments or anything like that, and I'm going to work my way down as always. Let's see. Real Rugged DIY says, tariffs on Canada better not ruin this. Yeah, I saw Trump provided 35% tariffs on Canada, I believe, starting August 1st or something. Yeah, so it is where it is. Love and Gaming X says, love your videos, appreciate it, thank you so much. Let's see. Private says, I wanted to go to sleep, but saw that you started this live video. Hard not to be here, especially on a very good day. Yeah, Right? These kind of days are definitely pick up our spirits more or less, right? Especially over the last year to 2 years, you could say with the miners, our spirits were kind of in the dumps a little bit. Neville says, looks like the people wanted, yeah, sorry about that. Let me see if I can do something else instead of that. Let me just hide those really quick. Let me see, where am I at here? Let's see, ticker, I want to close that. Clicker, there, okay, there we go. Let's see here. Looks like people wanted the sweetest pullback on IREN and have to wait longer. It won't happen. Higher lows, bud. Okay. So big IREN's going up higher possibly. Excuse me. Real Rug says, I don't understand why there's any battling for pricing. Pricing and what? Pricing and Bitcoin? Marcus says, forget Cleanspark. I need Bitfarms to run ASAP. It will run, but it's going to be suppressed a little bit by Riot, still selling shares there. Andre says, tariffs on Canada aren't going to ruin anything. Canada is an ant. Bitcoin is global. I mean, Canada is something there, but yeah, I don't know how much of an impact it will have. We'll see. And also, does Trump do a taco on it? We'll see. All right, Brian says, I want to see 33 or more on Cleanspark. That would be fantastic. I would love to see that as well. And maybe we'll see that, depending on how well Bitcoin does. Real Rug says, mining stocks should be going parabolic right now. Well, they went parabolic last week, right? We talked about that a little bit, about them kind of front-running things a little bit. Let's see. Marcus asked, Chris, you doubling down on Cleanspark again? I think we had maybe the other Chris in yesterday or the day before. Andre says, I put my IREN money into MSTU and already up 10% since I got it. Still holding a couple of thousand IREN, but think it's going to consolidate even with Bitcoin where it is. Probably won't push much past 18. That's also a possibility, right? It's had a huge run up here recently. The only way that's going to run up even more is if they announce some kind of a HPCI deal with somebody. So we'll see. Moel says, congratulations, Seb, in the community. Yeah, it's great to see things starting to run up for us. It's been a long time. Let's see. MetaPlanet says, since December 2023, BTC up 163%. Yep. And the miners have definitely, some of the miners have outperformed that. Private says, I have a ton of Cleanspark now and will have to roll my covered calls that have a 13 strike price expiring next Friday. Okay, well, that's a good problem to have. The MetaPlanet says, since December up 163, Cleanspark up 8.5%. That doesn't seem right to me. Hold on. Let's take a look at it here. Where is my, I had it up here yesterday. We talked about it yesterday as well. Stock performance. Let me see, from the start of things, from 1/3/23, so this was basically at the bottom of it, right? Take a look at it here. You can see it here. From the bottom of the market, when we bottomed out in the bear market in December of 2022 and early January 2023, you can see that since then, Bitcoin is up 527%, Cleanspark is up 541%. You got Cypher up being up 875% and IREN being up 1,331%. So Cleanspark now today was actually able to overtake Bitcoin, it looks like, a little bit, based on the data that I have at least, right? But you're saying from December of that time frame, then yeah, you might be right on that one. But if you look at the bottom, that would have been it. All right, let's go back here. See those, okay. Okay, Gary says Cleanspark is now less than 50% down from 2024, where they got to $24. Yep. Parrot says, I think Cleanspark will start doing better than BTC going forward. 33 as BTC goes to 200,000. I would hope so, right? Let's see. Meatforce says, lots of liquidity to grab at 84. Pullback before Christmas moon. So you think we're going to go back to 84? I think we might get to like 150,000, have a pullback to like 115 or something like that. I could see that happening. But going back down to 84, I just don't think that that's going to happen there. I think that moon has sailed already, or that ship has sailed. Metaplan says Cleanspark hasn't diluted since November 2024, and they still underperform greatly. Dilution never was the problem; it's their business model. Well, it's not. I don't think it's that. They actually performed better this year, from the start of the year to where the bottom was right in April. They were down less than other miners. They weren't as beaten down as some of the other miners as well. So, and now they're just kind of catching up a little bit here, I think. All right, Daryl says, boom, BTC will explode much more soon. Again, BTC 150,000 by September 22nd. All good miners will 3x from here. All right. You know, from your lips to our pockets books, I guess you could say. Daryl, what to deploy some more capital, Bitfarms or Hive? Well, those two are both Canadian miners, basically. Hive does have an office in Texas, so they're kind of, I guess you could say, they can report being U.S.-based. But they don't have any operations in the United States. Bitfarms has more operations in the United States, but they also have Riot on their back, and Riot is selling shares there, so that's going to be suppressing the stock for a while until they get that off. So I don't know which one's going to do better here, to be honest with you guys on that one. Hive is doing really good. The growth is coming up here for 25 exahash by Thanksgiving for us here in the United States. So the growth is really good. Operation-wise, they're also really great, efficient and everything else. It's just, will they get the love from investors? That's the question that I don't know. So if you want to deploy a little bit into possibly both of these guys. All right. All right. See, Private says, Daryl Gardner, I really hope you are right. I have Cleanspark and would love a 3x. So would I. All right. Andrew says, Sebastian, historically, highs for Cleanspark haven't passed 4 billion. Do you still think the stock could reach 35, pushing them past 10 billion mark cap? I do think so. Right, with the Bitcoin's got to be probably closer to 200,000 at that point. Because at that point, they're going to be making roughly around 1.4, 1.5 billion a year run rate on revenue from Bitcoin mining. So I would think that that would at least give them, what would that be then? Like a 6x multiple, more or less, on revenue. I think that's doable. And people get, you get FOMO in, people start going crazy, and yeah, I mean, we could definitely possibly see that. To be honest, I'd be happy with if we get to like $25, $30. I'd be happy with that too. But if we get even more than that, yeah, that'd be awesome. All right. Daniel says, good evening, Seb. SBET just announced having over 3,500 holders of their stock and buying an additional 5,000 Ethereum. Can you please check the after hours movement live, please? SBET, let me see if I can pull it up. Let's see what's going on with that one. Where's it at? Over here. Bear with me. Let's see. All right, SBET. Let's see. See if we got any after hours movement. Is this thing rocking right now? Is that why you're trying to post it on here? Okay, it's up 6 point. Let me pull this up. It's up 6.71 in after hours right now as it is. So it's kind of definitely doing pretty good here. But the big question is, how much of a multiple should these guys get on their HODL or their treasury, whatever you want to call it, right? Should they get anything beyond a 2x on it? I don't personally think so. I think they should be somewhere between maybe 1 and 1.5x on their HODL. Somewhere, I think that would be okay. But they do get overextended sometimes, and they go hot, kind of like Strategy did last year, getting to 540 and then pulled back down. I called it then that it was getting too hot, and sure enough, it came back down. So some of these guys, right now, it's momentum plays on these things that we're seeing. All right, there's that one. Let's see, let's go back to the Q&A. All right, talked about that one. I can't pronounce that. How would that? I'll just call you Mr. X. Hi, Sebastian. Great day for Bitcoin and miners. Let's go. It has been a great day. Yep. Prime's got a question here. Do you think Cleanspark will start doing much better than BTC going forward, reaching 33 as BTC goes to 200,000? Do you have a high conviction that this will be so? Last week they were up, what, 40% or something like that, whatever it was. And Bitcoin was only up 1%. So there are times where it can definitely run much faster than Bitcoin, and they do front run Bitcoin. Could we get to $33 or something like that? I think it's possible, right? Just how much FOMO do we get into the space is what's going to push them up even higher. Right now, it's mostly driven by institutions, so we really need like retail to push things even, past the goalpost there, potentially. Brad says, thanks so much for sharing your thoughts. Absolutely. Andrew's got a question here. Historically, highs for Cleanspark have been passed. Okay, we talked about that one already. Yeah. Sorry. Let's see. Can Cleanspark shares price catch up to IREN? Yeah, if IREN doesn't announce anything for an HPCI deal, I think it can. Right? But that's also, they have different amounts of shares outstanding, so you really want to look at the market cap, right? Can they catch up to the market cap of IREN, which right now is like 4 billion, and let's see, Cleanspark right now is at, where's Cleanspark at as of today? They are at 3.6 billion, right? And IREN is, where's IREN right now? All right, IREN's actually at 3.8 billion, at least by the number of shares that I have here. So they're pretty close as it is. Here, take a look at this. All right, so market cap, this is the last reported number of shares out there, right? So this is going to definitely change here. But I got IREN at 3.8 billion and Cleanspark at 3.6. So they're not too far off. Cleanspark does have a little bit more shares, 280 million instead of IREN's 224 million. So they're not too far off from each other as it is, right? Look at the market cap. The stock price could be different places. But look at the market cap, see where we're doing on that. All right, going back here. Okay, I talked about that one already. All right, Bevneet says, Seb, after yesterday, I finally opened a new position in Cypher today, 700 shares. Awesome. Like I said, my dad bought also a Cypher today and IREN. So that is awesome. Shinchi says, thank you for the consistency, Sebastian. You're very welcome. I mean, that's the only thing I can give you guys. I can't give you guys anything else. I just like to look at the miners, see the data, and talk about it. And you guys are awesome to come in here and hear me talk about this. Let's see here. KB Dub says, should I buy Moar now? I feel like it can draw back to 15, but I don't want to miss the run. Moar is an interesting one. Moar is not valued properly as it is right now. Let's see if we can see their numbers right now as it is that I pulled in today. Okay, so if we look at it here today on this one, their HODL to market cap value is 86.59%. That's huge. It's not as high as it's been in the past. It's come down a little bit here, which is kind of nice, but it's still way off, right? If you look at the assets, everything else that they have here, they're not really being valued on that. So they should be valued even higher than this. They should be probably closer to like 8.5 billion or something like that overall, where this should be, right? The stock is at $19 today. I have them between $18 and $28, so they're kind of on the lower end side of being fairly valued here, but they're not really being valued properly, I think. They still should be higher as it is right now. Yeah, they had a bad month in May or in June. Hopefully they can remedy that in July and fix their uptime and everything else and improve that Bitcoin mining again. So dollar cost averaging, if anything. Right, let's see. East Coast says ARKB had their highest ETF inflows today, 268 million. Nice. All right. Bob C has a question. Could Riot's selling of Bitfarms shares be a tax harvesting strategy? Oh gosh, that I don't know. I mean, that would be on their accounts and everything. It might be. I mean, they're going to take a loss on it. That's a pretty big loss, though. All right. Let's see. Andrew says Canada is big on the map, but its total GDP is smaller than the state of Texas. The amount of people buying Bitcoin is very small. Tariffs on Canada won't affect Bitcoin. Okay. That is true, though. Let's see. God's Will Odie says, question, well done for your great work and consistency, Seb. How much do you think Bitcoin will be going into September? I think we could get to 150,000. I think maybe even more. I mean, if we have these nice little rallies, but I think that's not going to last, right? We're going to need a little bit of a correction, whether it's 5%, 10% down a little bit to kind of correct things. We could go up for a couple more days. We could get to, 125,000 and correct a little bit, then go back up to 150,000 and then correct in September. So we could see something like that playing out. That's kind of what I would think, but we'll see. Mr. X got a question here. Why did IREN have such a great run lately? Possibility of an HPCI deal. That was probably the driver there. It's just getting repriced a little bit here as well. It also kind of ran kind of ran a little bit before Core got announced about the CoreWeave deal. But after that, it definitely ran up even more. So I think it's being repriced based on that. What is your conservative price target for Cleanspark, Moar, Riot? I don't want to miss the run holding forever. Well, here's the way I would look at it. So at the bare minimum, if Bitcoin goes to 200,000, right, that's roughly a 2x from where we are right now, roughly. I would expect them to do at least a 2x. That's the bare minimum I would expect them to do. But they can do better, right? So they could definitely do better. I don't think they're going to do as well as they did last cycle, where like Moar was up 70x from the bottom in the bear market. So I think they can do at least 2x, but they can do better than that possibly as well. It just depends on how much FOMO you get into it and everything else. So that's kind of my thoughts on it right now. I'd love to see them to get to like $30, $40 and things like that. And they might. I'm not saying that they won't, but I would at least hope for a 2x on it, bare minimum, 2 to 3x. All right, let's see. Riot sold Bitcoin at 80,000. Idiots. When did they sell 80,000? Did they sell at 80,000? Well, a lot of companies were selling Bitcoin, through the whole gamut of Bitcoin's price at any one point. Let's see here. Unsung. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Bitfarms candlesticks are neatly aligned. Candles high, low size are aligned side by side. This looks like algorithmic trading. Someone are manipulating price. Well, that someone's probably Riot. Riot's selling. So there's somebody, I think Riot has Citigroup, I think it's Citigroup, that they are using to sell the shares there. So they're probably maybe using some algos there. Private says, hit the like button, guys. Appreciate it. Andrew's got a question here. Seb, do you think Kango can go to teens if they did hit 50x hash as expected? Should they not be valued similar to IREN or Cleanspark? No, they should not be valued similar to Cleanspark or IREN because they do not own the infrastructure behind it. All they own is the miners, right? The miners are hosted with somebody else for them, so they're paying a higher fee on that than Cleanspark or IREN is. And Cleanspark and IREN have infrastructures. They have buildings. They have land. They have assets, whereas Kango does not. Let's see. Roger's got a question here. Seb, what's your next move? BTC 200,000, Cleanspark 15. Well, I would hope Cleanspark I have 15. I would hope that Cleanspark would be closer probably to like $30 at that point. But yeah, I don't think that's going to be the case. All right. What do you think of, what do you think how high Hut 8, Bit Digital, Cleanspark, IREN, Galaxy can do when BTC is 150,000? 50% up from here, possibly more, possibly 100%, somewhere around there. Hard to tell. Hut 8, that Hut 8 is definitely going to be an interesting one to watch there. Bit Digital now mining Bitcoin though, and Bit Digital they sold off all their coins, so it really doesn't matter there on that side. So I just don't see anything for Bit Digital right now. It's going to be dependent on where Ethereum actually goes for them. And Cleanspark, IREN, those guys are doing pretty good here. Galaxy, is Galaxy still mining anything? I don't know if they're mining it. They might be still mining something there. But yeah, I don't know about Galaxy on that one. But I would expect them to do at the very least, like a 50% increase from where they are right now. Okay. Gary, how has Ethereum done compared to Sol and BTC since the end of the bear market? Is ETH even at last cycle highs yet? I don't think it is. Let's see if we can take a look at Ethereum here really quick. On that one, Sol, I don't really track to see what's going on with that one. But if we look at Ethereum, let me pull this up really quick on the map, or on the chart here actually. If we look at let's take a look at the monthly chart on it. The bear market was, when was the bear market? Previous all-time high on it was 4,867. This was back in 2021, right? So it hasn't even gotten back to that yet. And if we overlay, let's overlay Bitcoin over that as well. So let's move that over from the top, right, where they both kind of topped out there. Add BTC USD on top of it. We'll use Coinbase. Same scale, and you can see that Bitcoin is up 152%, whereas Ethereum is actually down 36%. So, like I've said before, Ethereum is not, or even altcoins for the most part, not acting like they have in the past. And I don't know if they're going to do the same thing as Bitcoin is doing right now. Can they catch up? Maybe. I don't know. But I don't think they will. I could be wrong on it, though. Okay, got that one. Let's see. And D. Roy says Cleanspark is not going to 75, it's going to $70. Even better. I love that. Let's see. What else we got? All right, Andre says IREN has a market cap of 4.12 billion. That is up to date, but I think they are using the ATM right now, so expect a bigger cap at this price. Okay, that might be because I don't have the latest data as far as what their share amount is, so it might have gone up as well. So that's, but I'm not too far off from them. Let's see. Sauer says treasuries are being cycled out and miners in. Okay. Karan says, I hope BitDigital can do $5, Cleanspark $20, IREN 25, Hut 30. Wow, okay. Galaxy 30, I will be happy. I think that is possible, and I think that is doable. We're not too far off from these numbers as it is right now for a lot of these guys. All right. KB Dub says, not sure if it's worth averaging up. Currently have an average of 500 shares of Moar at 15. I would say average in if you want to on the red days, not the green days. That'd be one way to do it. Gary's got a question. IREN, even without a deal, is making huge profits, and new Blackwells will bring in another 70 million profit a year. Well, it's not really a question, it's more of a comment, but yes, you're right. Yeah, so that will add on top of the 24 million or so that they're already generating on some of the GPUs that they have there. All right. S. Romney has a question. Seb, what are your targets for Cleanspark, IREN, Bitfarms to start DCing out? Oh, gosh. Oh, last year we talked about it. Bitcoin getting to 100,000. Bitcoin got to 100,000. Miners still didn't perform that well. So we'll see how they perform. We'll have to gauge it on their performance and Bitcoin's performance as well. Where are they at that point? And, I'll probably start possibly start dollar cost averaging out on these guys when they are a little bit higher from here. Probably not until like October timeframe. I'm guessing I'll start dollar cost averaging out a little bit, unless we have a huge run up here in the next 2 months where Bitcoin goes to like 150,000. These guys go like to $25, $30 or something like that. At that point, I may just take off a little bit off the table and take some profits. All right, Don Payne's got a question here. How high can Bitfarms get if Bitcoin's at 150,000? That will depend on if Riot is still selling shares of theirs or not. Because right now there's still a lot of sell pressure on it, unfortunately, from Riot. So I don't know where that's going to be. And how soon does Bitcoin get to 150,000, right? Is it going to be in the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks? Or is it going to be in the next 3 months? So that's going to be hard to tell. Let's see. Drago says these miners are still below 2024 prices when BTC was way lower. Yeah, but that's because they went through a halving event. That always kills them. So they're rebounding from that quite nicely here, I think, though. Sarmelon says, Andre sure looks like it right now. Metaplanet and Strategy been performing like poo recently while miners rocketing. Yeah, we're seeing a little bit of a maybe rotation happening right now. Oh my gosh, super chat from Midway 1. Thank you so much. This isn't a question, but you deserve a lot of credit because of one of your 2 top picks the last several months. IREN has been by far the best performing stock in the entire sector, and your other top pick, Cleanspark, held up the best during the recent bear period. I appreciate that. Thank you. And I still think Cleanspark can do very well, similar to what IREN has done, but it might take us another couple months to get there, especially if Bitcoin goes up, right? So, but that's all, I mean, it's all data-based. It's looking at how the miners are performing, how are they doing, how are they growing, how are the operations, and, maybe this time around, this cycle, that actually matters instead of all the hope that we had on Hopium on certain miners getting to really, really high exahash, right? Without having any proven track record of it. So hopefully that will get rewarded. We'll see. All right. What else we got here? Daniel's got a question here. One stock that is not on the radar that should start appreciating very soon, as they always do, cycle after cycle, especially since they move some operations in the U.S. What do you think of Canon? Canon, I've looked at them. They have not been performing as well as even the miners here. They are still way under from Bitcoin. So I don't know about that one. It might pop here as Bitcoin goes up to 150,000 to 200,000, but I don't know. I know that they're smaller. They have their own ASICs that they build as well, other things, but I just don't know on that one. Deary says, thanks, Seb. You're awesome. Well, thank you so much. You guys are awesome for coming in here as always. Let's see here. Mr. X just became a member. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right. Let's see what else here. Simon says, Cleanspark and IREN, $50 price target. That would be awesome. I would love to see that. I'm sure you guys would too. Let's see. Geffler says, Seb's work is undeniably the best around. He cannot control markets. Yeah, nobody can control the markets, right? I just try to provide you guys with the best data I can on these things, and hopefully you guys enjoy it and take some, learn something from it, I guess. Andre says, I think there might be another rotation into the MicroStrategy, possibly short squeezed around 430. I think so too. I think that's due for a little bit of a jump here. I think what might happen as Bitcoin goes to like 125, 150 or something like that. We might see a jump in MicroStrategy at that point because they've been stacking more Bitcoin as time goes on. Bitcoin's actually been going up in price, but the stock has been not doing that great. It could be also that the other companies that are going into like Ethereum treasuries, the other companies that are going into Bitcoin treasuries as well, might have taken a little bit of the steam away from MicroStrategy as it is. I think that might be part of it also. All right, let's see here. Petros, would Bitfarms able to move now to new highs? No, they still have Riot selling shares there. So that's going to take a while for those shares to be sold that Riot does own. And I'm guessing it's going to be a couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months even before that is all said and done. So there's still going to be a sell pressure on it, which I think could contain it unless Riot actually no, I wouldn't say grows up, smartens up a little bit, gets wise about it and goes, let this thing run a little bit. We can sell it for a higher price and not lose as much, possibly. Okay. Mark said, I sold my alt right before the 25 pump again. That's the hard part about trying to time this stuff. It's not easy. See, Drago says Ethereum has so much room to run. It does have a lot of room to run, but will it actually run? See, Andre says, look at Soluna up over 100% in the last 2 weeks. Still, Soluna has a tiny market cap of 19.5 million. All right, so that one was an easy one to possibly get in on for maybe a quick squeeze there. What else we got here? Mr. X, question: Bitfarms is still a good buy compared to the other top miners. They don't report their monthly operation updates, so I can't really see how they're doing month to month now. Based on what they did in the past, I can see that they've been pretty much a good miner, even I would say even a great miner. When it comes to operations, they did miss some things. They missed some targets. Not a big deal. They had some issues in the past. They're fixing those issues, and they're working towards HPCI. I think it's one of those things where, put in a couple $100, maybe a couple $1,000 into it and see where it goes. And if they get lucky and get an HPCI deal going, that could definitely pop the stock there. And then once Riot actually stops selling or is done selling the shares that they own there, that could also have a nice impact on the stock going forward. So I still own a bunch of shares in Bitfarms. I'm just letting it ride, see where it goes. Wes Clark says he agrees with Andre. MicroStrategy is starting to break out. Would expect 500 soon. All right. Fairfax says, I see Cleanspark going to $28. That'd be fine with me too. That'd be a nice, even gap up from where it is right now. It'd be nice profits there as well. Fairfax says, I agree, miners are back. Hopefully they're back, right? As long as Bitcoin cooperates with us and Bitcoin actually goes up. Chris says Cleanspark's number one. Sorry. Market corrects in September, so take some profits now to load in September. Don't be too greedy. But you might have, this month to run, July, and next month to run a little bit more in August as well. So, all right, don't take, what's the word I'm looking there for? Don't give away your receipts too fast, I guess is the way I would say it. East Coast says, question, Bitfarms is back above $1 now. Does this reset the clock for, yes, it does. Delisting, does it need to stay above? No. Just need to close above $1 one day. They've been above it a couple of days now, so yeah, that does reset it. Fairfax says, so happy I kept Cleanspark. Awesome. Sarman says, Bitfarms 120 at BTC 150. If Riot continues to sell as much as they have been, it could very well be the case here. Let's see. Spin Second Serve says, love the fact that we'll all happy. Cleanspark was 16 a year ago. I wish the shorts would cover. They will in time. Andre says, happening soon for MicroStrategy for a pump there. S. Romney, when will Riot share their Bitfarms position again, end of month. Can't wait for that to be over. They'll share it when they drop the percentage some more. I think they'll share that, and we'll see. Maybe they'll hold on to it for a while. Who knows what they're gonna do? Will they continue to sell? I don't know. All right, Gary's got a question. At what price will you completely leave Cleanspark and Moar before bear market? Completely? It'll depend on where Bitcoin goes and where the miners go, to be honest. But do we have another bear market in Bitcoin? I don't think that's going to be the case here. So I'm going to have to keep an eye on how things go going forward and take profits along the way. And, I'm not going to be able to time it perfectly. But as long as I don't hold it through another bear market, I'll be happy. So we'll see. Andre says Moar should get to $30 for sure. I would think so too. Bitcoin going up to 150,000, 200,000. I could see that happening there. Let's see. Fairfax says here, midway, and thank you, Seb. You're very welcome. Pitt, I think institutions wanted to load up. That's why they suppressed the miners. Now their carts are full. Oh yeah, they are going to punish the cart uphill. All right. Let's see. Pet says, thanks, Seb. You're very welcome. Everyone, you're all very welcome. And thank you for coming in. Seb, have I ever told you I'm bullish on IREN? Yeah, you have. Plenty of times. I love that. Fairfax, Seb, when should we look at the low-cost miners like Soluna? Oh, gosh, I don't know. Some of these other guys here like Mawson, along with Annie, Sphere 3D, right? Those guys, excuse me. I'd be surprised if they make it through another year or two. A lot of these guys haven't reported anything since May. Not much going on with them. Like Sphere doesn't own any infrastructure, right? They host everything. Same thing with Argo right now, I think. So those guys are in bad shape there. They might be closing their doors unless they, Bitcoin goes up tremendously and they're able to capitalize on that somehow. Excuse me. All right, Midway says, it does seem like IREN might have room to run up to 25 area just based on mining Bitcoin at 50x even before they get in. Yeah, I would agree there as well. SK, question, is IREN expected to do an ATM anytime soon? They still have an ATM available to them, so they could be pulling on that right now as it is. We don't know. Let's see. Okay, 4 figures. Okay. You guys are talking between yourselves there. All right, we've kind of cut up to everything I think that we wanted to cover here. So it is nice to see, obviously, the miners doing well here. The D-Shep, the boss, can definitely tell you that the mood in the room has changed. Yeah. Bitcoin's going up, miners are going up. It's definitely more uplifting. We could say that. Maybe a new all-time high during the stream. Where's Bitcoin at right now? 116,688. Let me see. Get rid of that one on it. And here it is right now. We're getting close to it, it looks like. Let's go to the 1 hour chart. Oh, yeah, we're kind of bouncing back up here. We're kind of getting close to that. We're not too far away, and we're getting closer and closer as it is. Let's see here. Let's look at the 15-minute chart here. We are just a little bit away. We're about $92 away. It's going back down a little bit now again. But yeah, we're definitely coming back up, and there's a little bit more room to run on it. We could get there. It'd be cool if we got it on the stream here. If we went above the 116,842. All right, somebody just buy a bunch of Bitcoin here. Let's get this thing going. Let's get it past to 117,000 on the stream if we can. Now we're $100 off. We're $80 off. Gosh, so close. $70, $60, $50. We're getting there. Oh, went down a little bit more. 796, 793, 800. Come on, 50 more bucks. Let's go. Get another new all-time high here. All right, we're going back down a little bit. Yep. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. I don't know. Do you guys know if there's any operations out there or operations? Gosh, not operations. Any? Gosh, what is it? On Bitcoin, are there any expirations on futures or anything like that for tomorrow on Bitcoin? I'm not sure if there is. Tomorrow's Friday, obviously. So be interested to see if that would have any impact on it as well tomorrow. On that one. Let's see what we got. Gary's got a question here. Are viewer numbers up versus April? No, they're not. They're actually, well, this past couple of days they've been kind of increasing, but they are not fully up since we were in April, or even like last year around the third and fourth quarter. Numbers were nice then, but they've definitely come down. Let's see. Sebra is right. A good buy right now from Tej. Riot is not going to be growing anything as far as Bitcoin mining is concerned. Bitcoin price going up will definitely help there with the amount of revenue that they generate. The big question is, can they get an HPCI deal, right? So if you believe that they can or think that they can, it might be a good time to get into it as well. Yeah. Let's see. Let's see, where are we at here with Bitcoin? We've come down a little bit. Not too far. We got close to it, but we came down a little bit. Let's see, there was a couple questions that I saw here popping up. Let's see, where is it at? Fairfax says, that's what I'm only just in the black again. Okay, so you definitely bought in at higher prices. I've been in the black since probably, I bottomed out in April, like a lot of you guys probably did, where I was actually negative for a day or two. I was negative $10,000 on the shares that I had with Cleanspark, IREN, who else I have at that point, Bitfarms as well. My overall portfolio, I was negative 10,000. I was down 10,000 instead of, so I was in the red. But since then, it has definitely grown to being up 6 digits. So it's nice to see that going back up here. But that was a tough time. That was not easy to looking at your portfolio going, okay, I put in this much. I'm actually down in the red 10 grand now. This is not fun. Let's see. Soda says, Soda Head says, Fairfax 62, I made a mistake of selling Cleanspark at $10, buying again at 12.5, and again selling at 11.5. That's one of those things that you're going to have to learn not to do. I did the same thing when I was younger with Bitcoin and with other things. It's tough, and it's one of those things where you got to find your own way, unfortunately. Tosh says, Seb, don't go. We love you. Good time to be alive. It is a good time to be alive, yeah. Let's see. Let me see where Bitcoin's at right now. Yeah, I don't think we're going to make it on the stream here, at least to new all-time high. We've been going for about an hour as it is right now. So we'll see. Tomorrow, I think tomorrow we'll get another new all-time high on it as well. We're right on the cusp of it right now as it is. Just a couple more $100 and we'd be there, but we'll see. All right, we'll call it a day. I think that's it. Let's see here. SKS, can you include SBET, BTCS as well? MNAV is less than 2 on these. Ethereum will go up as well. Let me see. Don't I have those already in here? Let me see here. Small miners, Ethereum. I don't. Yeah, I do. I have SBET here. And what was the other one that you had in there as well? BTCS. I got that one too. So I do cover those usually in the beginning of the show when we talk about the miners, how they performed, and we'll look at how the Ethereum holders also performed at that point. Mr. X says, thanks again for the stream. Sebastian, you're very welcome. Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you for joining. Let's see. Trade Rookie says, when you are buying and selling constantly, you will be paying higher taxes. That is true too. Yeah, so there's multiple strategies that you can take in trading and investing in general. Just all depends on everybody else. But yeah, let's see here. Bitcoin's at 160,694. Yeah, we got a ways to go. All right, we'll call it a day. We'll see where we get up tomorrow. All right, that's it. Thank you everyone for coming in as always. Greatly appreciate you guys. Love you all. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great night. Hope you guys have a great Friday. Hopefully we have another all-time high with Bitcoin. That'd be great. We'll talk about it tomorrow. I'll see you guys then. Bye.